Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. I don't know about you guys, but guess what? Yesterday was apparently International Day to combat a nonsensical term known as, you guessed it, Islamophobia. I don't know about you, but I don't have any rational fear towards Muslims at all. In fact, my fear is quite rational. My fear is towards a non-peaceful religion, a group of people that don't want to actually assimilate. No, they want to take over my country. And guess what? This is, in fact, the problem. We had our spineless Prime Minister, Anthony Albanese, release this statement over on his X account. And my goodness, the comments went nuts. But because it was apparently a day, they come up with all kinds of days these days, like International Day to combat transphobia and homophobia and every other bloody phobia they want to create as well. But International Day to combat Islamophobia is creating a problem. You're creating a term which has no grounding whatsoever. You are saying that people have an irrational fear towards Islam, meaning that we shouldn't be afraid of a non-peaceful religion of individuals that actually don't want to assimilate into this country at all. They are charlatans. They're not peaceful one bit. And in fact, they can get quite violent. But you know what this is? We have an election coming up, and we have imported this problem thanks to good old Albanese. This problem has been imported, and guess what? Albanese is pandering to this problem. He wants the Muslim vote because guess what? If he doesn't get the Muslim vote, he more than likely won't win. I don't think he's going to win anyway, but that's beside the point. This is purely political. You create your own problem and you pander to that problem that you have created for yourself. And guess what, ladies and gentlemen? The rest of society ends up suffering as a result of this madness and this lunacy. Now, am I saying that every single Muslim in Australia is dangerous and violent? No, I'm not at all, because I happen to know some very peaceful Muslims here in Australia. They just want to be left alone and be able to practice in peace away from people. But a vast majority, you go to Lakemba, you can't do certain things. Women can't walk around without their heads covered up. They can't even walk near a mosque. Like, that should tell you everything you need to know. This is Australia, for goodness sake. This is not Iran. This is not some other Afghanistan, no less. This is Australia, a democracy. At least I used to think so. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? It's becoming a utopia for one particular religion. Islam is a religion. It's not a race of people. So why in the world have they got this irrational fear called Islamophobia at the forefront in a day to actually celebrate or combat it? You don't need to combat a perfectly rational fear. Thank you very much. It's perfectly rational to fear what Islam is about, because it's not a peaceful religion at all. If you look at any of the things in the Quran, Muhammad was not peaceful. Muhammad was a warmonger. Muhammad took a 9-year-old, or I think he consummated the marriage at 9 years old, or something along those lines. But he took a young child to be his bride. And I saw on X someone saying that, oh, guess what? R words and assaults and crime and everything like that is so down in Muslim countries, meaning that according to that dingbat, that Muslims or Islam in that religion, or in that part of the world, is apparently peaceful. Right. And I saw Fine Retards post a comment, and it was absolutely hilarious, and it was brilliant. That's because the majority of people that report any R words or assaults or whatever else, they get stoned to death. So, hello, no one has freedom of speech over there. If you do say something they disagree with, guess what? You're dying. You lose your life. We don't want that kind of nonsense here in Australia. But guess what, ladies and gentlemen? Our spineless Prime Minister, the weasel, Albanese, puts out this statement and goes, on the International Day to combat Islamophobia, we're off to a great start. Australia stands firm against any expression or act of hatred or hostility towards the Muslim community. Going to get better, ladies and gentlemen. Believe you me. We will not tolerate Islamophobia in any form. But yeah, we can definitely tolerate anti-Semitism in this country. Yes, totally. We can't put out a statement about anti-Semitism, but we can definitely put out a statement about something that doesn't actually exist. For sure. It has no place in Australia. We will not combat it with the full, and we will combat it with the full force of our laws. It goes against all we are as a nation and all we have built together over generations. Guess what? You're creating an even bigger problem for yourself. I guarantee you, and I hope I'm not right about this, but in the next couple of years, you end up going to be eating your words, mate. They're not our friends. If you think they are, you're kidding yourself. It's a perfectly rational, healthy fear to fear a religion that's not about peace, that wants a particular law to take over. Need I say more? Our reflections on this day take more meaning because it coincides with the anniversary of the Christchurch mosque shootings, where 51 people had their lives stolen in what should have been a place of deepest sanctuary. So many more had their lives changed forever. The Muslim community has long been a part of the breadth and the richness of the Australian story. No, it hasn't. What do you want about, Albo? This is what I'm talking about, pandering. Pandering to this group. Unbelievable. Playing an important part in shaping the face of our modern nation. Our modern nation, 100%. They're definitely part of shaping that, and probably not in a good way. Like all Australians, they have every right to be proud of who they are and to follow their faith freely and openly. Yes, you have every right to do that here in Australia. What you don't have any right to do is take over. It's exactly what they're doing. Right under your nose. And you're playing to it. Well done, Albo. Well done. A central part of our shared Australian identity, indeed, one of our greatest national treasures, is the way we celebrate our diversity and our inclusive spirit. There we go. The DEI woke nonsensical shit. That is something to be cherished and upheld, and we will oppose anything that threatens it. And Stephen Shavura, who I actually really revere and respect, I am 100% hostile to the importation of large Islamic communities into Australia. Have I just broken the law, Albo? I'm actually all for what he just said. Have I broken the law too? According to Albo, me and Stephen have both broken the law because we don't want these people in our country, especially large portions of them. They've said it. They've admitted it. They want this law, starting with S, to reign supreme, and they will take over. And you're handing them the keys, Albo. You're giving them everything you need, and you're protecting them by our laws. So if anyone speaks up or speaks out against it, you're going to be in a world of hurt because that's unacceptable here in Australia. There's two differences between Christianity, more differences with Judaism, and then there's Islam. Totally different religions. One of them is very peaceful. I'm talking about Christianity. The other one, Islam, nah. Anyway, that's enough from me, but you guys take care, be blessed, and I'll see you all in the next video.